Welcome back to today's explainer. We are jumping right into the incredibly complex, rapidly escalating, and frankly multi-front standoff that's currently unfolding between the United States and Iran. It's a lot to unpack, so let's get right to it. So, what's the immediate spark here? Well, it all started with a recent post by Donald Trump on Truth Social. He shared an image of warships with a pretty ominous caption. It was the calm before the storm. Military analysts across the board are interpreting this as a severe warning of imminent military operations, which has absolutely skyrocketed the diplomatic temperature. Here is our roadmap for today as we systematically break down this chaotic web of military movements and regional proxy conflicts. We'll cover 1. The calm before the storm, 2. U.S. military preparations, 3. Iran's counter conditions, 4. New tensions in the UAE, 5. Iran's mass military preparation, and 6. The global internet threat. Part 1. The calm before the storm. Right now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expects to discuss Iran in an upcoming scheduled meeting with Donald Trump. They are publicly highlighting their readiness for absolutely any scenario. And behind the scenes, major contingency plans are actively being weighed by all the key players. Moving into Part 2, U.S. military preparations. Okay, let's dive into this, because the real-time regrouping of U.S. military assets is massive. Flight monitors are literally lighting up with dozens of C-17 Globemaster strategic transport planes, leaving Middle Eastern bases and heading toward Europe. Meanwhile, out on the water, the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier has repositioned closer to the Iranian coast, and it's being supported by the USS George H.W. Bush carrier group right nearby. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that we have seen this exact type of naval and air activity right before previous military operations in the region. Part 3. Iran's counter conditions. According to Iranian news agencies, Washington allegedly presented a very tough settlement package to Tehran. We're talking about demands that include the U.S. refusing to pay compensation for previous strikes, transferring highly enriched uranium strictly to U.S. control, limiting Iran's entire nuclear program to just one single facility, and only partially unfreezing their assets. As you can guess, this illustrates the massive gap that currently exists between the two sides. And Iran's diplomatic pushback? It has been harsh. The Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs actually went as far as quoting Goebbels' famous principle: blame others for what you do yourself. State media is actively accusing the U.S. and Israel of deliberately destabilizing vital energy routes, just so they can subsequently blame Iran for the ensuing chaos. Part 4. New tensions in the UAE. And this brilliantly illustrates how proxy conflicts are still very much alive, despite any formal U.S.-Iran ceasefires. Just last week, a strike hit oil infrastructure in Fujairah. Then, shortly after that, an Iranian drone actually attacked a power generator just outside the inner perimeter of the Baraka nuclear power plant in Abu Dhabi. Now, thankfully, there were no radiation leaks or casualties, but the regional escalation is undeniable. To give you an idea of just how visceral this hostility has become, Iranian state television recently broadcast a truly shocking segment. A TV presenter, standing right alongside weapons instructors, opened fire with a machine gun directly at the flag of the United Arab Emirates, live on air. It doesn't get much more blatantly hostile than that when it comes to relations between Tehran and Abu Dhabi. Part 5. Iran's mass military preparation. Now, what's really interesting about this is what's happening internally. Beyond all the external posturing, there is an unprecedented civilian mobilization happening inside Iran. State propaganda claims a staggering 31 million volunteers have signed up for military training. To put that massive number into perspective, that is roughly a third of the country's entire population. On the ground, mosques have essentially been converted into civil defense centers. They are actively training men, women, teenagers, and entire families in firearm handling and self-defense, under the overarching slogan, "Sacrifice your life for Iran." Simultaneously, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is significantly strengthening internal security. They're explicitly preparing for both external attacks and the very real possibility of internal protests. Finally, Part 6. The new threat to the global internet. For decades, the big fear was always the traditional threat of simply blocking the Strait of Hormuz to disrupt global oil supplies. But the modern nightmare? It's completely digital. It's an internet and banking catastrophe.
Iran is now directly threatening the hidden infrastructure of the global economy, the underwater cables that handle almost all of the world's internet traffic, international financial transactions, and military communications.
Think about this. Media close to the IRGC are reporting that tech giants like Google, Meta, and Microsoft will be forced to obey Iranian law and pay licensing fees. Why? Because major intercontinental cables, specifically the Falcon and Gulf Bridge international lines, physically pass through Iranian territorial waters. Tehran is looking to mandate that only Iranian companies are allowed to perform maintenance on these absolutely critical digital arteries. If you think this sounds like an empty threat, it's actually not. We have a terrifying real-world precedent from 2024. A Houthi attack in the Red Sea damaged just 3 submarine cables. Because of that one attack, a massive 25% of the region's entire internet traffic was instantly lost.
And the reality is, Iran has the military capability to do significantly more damage. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is heavily equipped with specialized combat divers, mini-submarines, and advanced underwater drones. They are fully capable and seemingly ready to deploy these assets to execute severe digital sabotage across several continents. The very nature of warfare is fundamentally shifting right before our eyes. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder. Will the next major global conflict be fought over land and oil? Or will it take place at the very bottom of the ocean, fighting over internet cables? It's a profound and frankly terrifying prospect for the future of multi-front warfare. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next Explainer.